let's talk follow-up for a minute. As a job seeker, you should absolutely be following up after you apply and after you interview. Here's my suggestion. Some people call it a little aggressive. I think it's more assertive and it gives you more control in a time where you feel out of control, especially if you're laid off. A lot of the people I work with are laid off and they feel like they're just completely out of control in this job search. So let's turn that around with some follow-up. First thing, after you apply or interview, so this works in both cases, within a day, follow up. Send an email via LinkedIn, via direct, whichever. If you've applied, go to LinkedIn, go to the company, look under people, look under talent as your keyword, and find a person in talent acquisition, a recruiter, HR, somebody. Send them a connection request with a note, send them a message, ask for an introduction, and introduce yourself. Hey, I recently applied, pull something from their profile that's of interest. I look forward to the next steps. After you interview, do the same thing, except you're going to say then, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciated interviewing with you. Add another value add, something you mentioned in the interview, something you forgot to mention in the interview, and say, I look forward to the next steps. Also, when you interview, make sure if you met them in person, send a thank you note. It can make a huge difference. I'm not talking about email here. I'm talking about an actual paper, old school thank you note. Pop it in the mail. It'll get there a couple days later when they're reviewing names. If you're like, stamps, who has stamps? Totally get it. Then after the interview, take your cards, go to your car, go to a coffee shop, write them out, go back to where you interviewed, drop them off, say, hey, I was just here. Makes a huge difference. I had someone who just literally got the next interview because of that, and they're considering him for a higher position because of a handwritten thank you note. So do that. Then, about a week after you apply or interview, then you're going to follow up again. After you apply, don't ask, did you receive my application? You're following up. If they didn't get it, they'll figure it out. So you email them again, LinkedIn, email, whatever. Then you say, let them know that you applied. You say, hey, I recently applied for this position. I remain interested. Here's a value add. Here's something that I can offer. Here's something I love about your company. Here's an article I read that's super interesting. After an interview, a week later, or if they told you, hey, we're not going to hear for 2 weeks or we're not going to hear for 3 days, give them a couple of days time after the timeline that they provided and follow up again. If they didn't give you a timeline, do it in about a week. And at that point, you're going to say, thank you again for interviewing with me. I really enjoyed meeting with you, the team, whoever. Value add, right? You're always just layering on value. You're not asking, how's it going? When will you have a decision? And then just say, if you have any questions, please let me know. Now you've got your third follow-up. Do that about 2 to 3 weeks after your initial follow-up. So after your interview, after your application. Again, interview can be a little flexible depending on what their timeline is. In your third follow-up, you're going to go to a sales tactic, which is a pull away. So you're going to say, at this point, it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. And then you're going to pull yourself away. So your email might sound something like, thank you again for meeting with me about this position. While I really enjoyed meeting with the team, it appears that I won't be moving forward. I certainly am disappointed. However, I hope that you'll keep my name in consideration as you move forward, and good luck with your hiring process. If it's after an application, then you would say, looks as if my application won't be moving forward. Again, while I'm disappointed, blah, blah, blah. What this does is it closes a chapter for you. Because after about a month, which is about this follow-up time, they've made a decision in most cases. Now, again, sometimes in the interview process, they will tell you it's going to take a month or more before we know. However, in most cases, a month is the timeline for them. You're not telling them you're not moving forward. You're just stopping worrying about it. put a line through them on your list. Don't delete them. They might still come back. But what it does, it gives you power. You now can say, I'm not going to worry about this. I have given it my interest. I've followed up 3 times, and now I'm closing the chapter. When you have more control in your job search, you don't fret about these things. It goes away, and then you can put your energy on something else because your mental health, your well-being are super important. So don't jeopardize them by putting energy in the wrong direction. Follow